Coming up, should John Bercow be allowed in the House of Lords? Was Jeff Bezos hacked by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia? And are petrol pumps sexist? Find out on this week's Fake News. Welcome to Fake News, the topical quiz show that would never move to Canada. Now you can hear us live on Talk Radio, or you can watch us on YouTube or Facebook right now. Here are the big stories you need to know. The Meghan and Harry story rolled on this week, with the couple denying that they would cash in on their royal connections. They were speaking from their UK home, the Bet365 Frogmore Cottage, in association with Red Bull. Privacy and anonymity seem to be the main priority for the couple, with Harry so desperate to be left alone, he's considering running for the Labour leadership. Let's meet this week's guests. Joining the fabulous, furry, funny man that is our own Dave Chawner, we have top broadcaster Marina and Virgin Radio icon Amy Voce. Let's kick off with round one. I love this round. It's called Fake News. I'll read some big stories from the news this week, and you guys have to guess if they're true or false. Marina, following his Channel 5 special, Thomas Markle is in discussions with BBC to appear on the next series of Strictly Come Dancing. True or false?
I think that a lot of people would like to see that. I don't think it's true though, surely.
Can we ask on a human level whether you have sympathy with Thomas Markle or with Meghan? Because in some ways you have to choose your sides in this big drama, don't you, Amy?
I would go team Meghan. I thought it was a bit rich that he, I've got some, criticisms there, but I thought it was a little bit rich that he said, I think it's a shame that Harry and Meghan have left to make more money. What? What did you literally do just before the wedding? It's just, I think that you set up a photo, come on.
I've got to say I love Thomas Markle, and I know that he's a bit embarrassing. Like, he didn't go to the wedding because she didn't want him to embarrass her. But it's like, if the father of the bride didn't go to weddings, right, because they were going to embarrass their daughter, there would be no weddings ever, because dads are a bit embarrassing, aren't they?
Yeah, he should have been there. He could have really jazzed it up.
And also,
Jazzed it up.
I think that's exactly the reason he wasn't there.
What I love about Thomas Markle with that fake photo shoot before the wedding is that this is a guy who knows where there is still like an internet cafe.
I didn't know they still existed.
Yeah, it was amazing. How did he find an
an
internet cafe? It's amazing. So
he's so cute. I think he's really
He's
sweet.
cute.
Yeah, isn't he? And
Oh,
how hurt must he have been to be banned from that wedding in the first place? And I don't know. It's her dad. I just feel a bit
But maybe she's
sorry
going,
for him.
oh, it's my dad who's just sold out my entire soul to the world.
Good point.
quality. All right, well, Marina, is it true or false? Is Thomas Markle going to appear on Strictly?
I'm going to say, as much as everyone would like to see it, myself included, false.
Well, I'm devastated to say you are right.
Yeah.
We're craving for that to happen maybe next series. Watch those ratings go through the roof. Amy, Opal Fruits are to make a comeback 22 years after they were renamed Starburst. True or false?
Wow. I hope this is true because I feel like no one really recovered from the Opal Fruit Starburst rebrand. It really, I felt like it really hurt people quite deep. So
Yeah.
I've done a bit of research about this. Starbucks is Starbucks.
By the way, can I just
New
say,
ITV reality
I
show.
actually know the Starbugs. They're a lovely family. Happy Hanukkah. Amy, you're expressing some concern about the Starburst brand, and I agree with you because for me it was an early example of boring globalization, where the company have clearly bought like a classic confectionery, which is the Opal Fruit, and decided to make it uniform around the world, one name. Big mistake.
it just wasn't necessary. It's a bit like when, what was that one Cadbury's got rid of the Secret? Do you remember the Secret bar?
Yes, they were really nice.
Why did you remove that from our lives?
Okay then, Amy, true or false?
Well, the optimist in me is desperately hoping this is true.
Well, I'm delighted to say it is true. Welcome back, Opal Fruits.
Oh.
Dave, Thomas Markle, who hasn't been mentioned in today's show so far, says Harry and Meghan are turning the royal family into Walmart with a crown. True or false?
I don't care. Let's move on. I'm
You
boss
care
of
about
right
Thomas Markle.
I honestly don't care. I just find it mental how there was Iran had shot down a plane. The Brexit bill got through the House of Commons. Yet all of the papers were talking about Harry and Meghan. I was like, do we really care that much? I wish them all the best. Have a lovely time.
Left the royal family. It's kind of big news, though.
Is it? I don't care.
Really?
It's just another
Also,
family on
do you
benefits. I don't.
true or false?
I'm true.
Yeah, is the right answer.
Great.
Well done, Dave Chawner. Marina, Ed Sheeran is now Britain's most popular ginger person after Prince Harry's decision to quit the royal family. True or false?
I would have thought he was the most popular ginger person regardless, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like Ed can divide sometimes.
Really?
Oh, I didn't mean that.
Do you play Ed? This is an opportunity for some valuable cross promotion.
Yeah,
Do you play Ed Sheeran on your hit Virgin radio show?
Thank you very much. Yes, a lot of Ed Sheeran. I'm a fan, but the only time I think Ed let himself down was the Game of Thrones cameos and things like that. So I don't know, is he more divisive than Prince Harry?
I mean, I've never met a single person that doesn't like Ed Sheeran.
I am very
Ever.
pleased to meet you. Anytime.
The problem we have in this country, Marina, is tall poppy syndrome, that he's so successful that immediately people are up, take sort of like umbrage.
Yeah.
But you know
Because
what,
he's too popular.
But they shouldn't, because Ed has similar problems like all of us with the council, his local council. Like, he's trying to build a swimming pool, his pond. He's trying to build his own church, his own pub, and they won't let him have it. And I just find it really annoying when you can't build your own pub in your back garden.
Same thing for me. Like, they won't let us dredge the moat. And I just think, these are classic things that everyday people have.
Well, look, I've got to say, I wonder whether some of this is a little bit to do with anti-ginger sentiment. Is that the last prejudice we have in this country?
I think it's really pro now, though, isn't it? I think it's super cool.
I think blokes are generally like a bit of ginger bashing. Oh, it's fine. But baldness. In blokes, baldness is the one that I've seen grown men cry.
But what I don't understand is how men can be so nasty to each other and just kind of see it as banter, and women, like, there's none of that. Women are nice to each other.
True. You've not seen my WhatsApp group. They are vicious. They are vicious.
What do we think? True or false?
I think, what did I say? I think it's true.
Well, I'm afraid to say it is false.
What, Harry's still number one?
Harry is still number one, but perhaps not for long. Amy, according to a new report out this week, 37% of Londoners say talking to strangers makes them feel uncomfortable. True or false?
I'd say it's false. It's probably more like 60% of Londoners, I would have thought, feel uncomfortable.
Well, are you all Londoners?
I'm not, no, I live in London, but I'm a Midlands girl. I'm from Leicester. But you do notice when I go home that progressively, the more north you get, the friendlier it is. It is far friendlier.
Yes.
It is 100%.
And is that because in the north they don't have the internet? Is that the main?
It might be. So they just talk to each other, but it's really quite refreshing. So I tried to come back to London and attempt it a bit here, but no, it doesn't wash.
Dave Chawner.
So I live in London now. I'm originally from the Midlands as well, but I identify as grumpy, and I hate any of that. Like when they're like, oh, how you doing? You don't care. Like if I walked in a shop and they said, how are you? And I'd be like, you know what? I'm thinking of ending it. They go, oh, lovely. Would you like a Mars bar with that? Like it's not a genuine question.
You go to WH Smith, do you?
I am with you on that. Pointless small talk is not okay, and that's what I mean. It's often forced. Like you say when you go into a shop. How's your day? You don't care. But for some reason up north they say it with like genuine interest.
Nice.
They do. Okay then, Amy. True or false?
I think it's probably a higher percentage, so I'll go with false.
I'm afraid it's true. 37%. David, after Brexit, Cockney rhyming slang will be taught in schools in London and the South East in order to reconnect children with British traditions. True or false?
Amazing. So what, like when you go into WH Smith or something, you'll have Duolingo, you'll have Spanish, then you'll have French, and then you'll have Cockney. Oh, that's brilliant.
I wouldn't mind doing A-level rhyming slang. I think it would involve listening to a lot of Chaz and Dave.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, this is a great idea. Yeah.
But apples and pears in it, brown bread. There's a lot of. I mean, do any of you now that you all live in London, do you use rhyming slang?
Well, do you know my family, my mum's side of the family are originally from the East End, so Cockney, and so I mean, I'm I guess a bit Cockney myself.
This is the thing, don't you have to have the accent? Like if I said, oh, let's go for some Britney Spears, I'd sound like an idiot.
What's Britney Spears?
Spears.
Oh.
Yes, because they have updated it. Somebody is somewhere in a Greasy Spoon cafe just constantly rewriting them all the time. Because they get, I mean, Pete Tong is a famous one, of course.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't know though. What do we think? Is there any truth to this?
Well, I don't know. no, because Cockney rhyming slang started in prisons, didn't it?
Did it?
Yeah,
right?
that's the reason
never
that
knew
Cockney
that.
rhyming slang came around was they had the screws. Look at me talking like, oh, right, so I know you. But
You are a famous, not only a celebrity vegan, but quite a famous jailbird.
Oh, you well, big time. Hang around there all the time. But no, this is true. So the reason they used to have the prison wardens would go round, and Cockney rhyming slang was born so that they could have a way of communicating
Without the screws knowing.
So you'd say like, I'm going up the old apples, and the guys were, I don't really know what's going on.
But then they'd see him walk up the stairs and they'd be like, oh, that's what he meant.
All right then. Well, David, what do we think? True or false?
I'm going to say false.
It is false.
Good.
Yes, indeed. Marina, Ben & Jerry's have removed the claim that their ice cream comes from happy cows after a lawsuit from vegans. True or false?
How could they prove if the cows were happy or not? I'm a bit confused with
They're
that.
smiling.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also like without being too vegan about this, like they give birth and then they have their calves like ripped away from them. It's probably not going to make you too happy, is it?
You enjoy your caramel choo-choo.
Okay, that's it. That was the last Ben & Jerry's I had.
Here's a divisive one though, right? This might make people uncomfortable. There was a shop where you could buy human breast milk ice cream.
Oh my God.
Would you
Do
try
not.
it?
No. Who would try it?
I
actually-
Why? You're
It's
actually
our own
contemplating it.
species.
I don't know why not. When you
horrific.
think about it. Okay, so you look at
I'm
a
gonna be
cow
sick.
and you go, oh yeah, I'll drink their milk from their udders, which always look
no.
horrific. Well, take another animal. I'm not up for it, but it's
sounds like you
not
are,
weird.
actually.
What?
You
It's
can have
not.
loads of like
it's not
raspberry
super
nipple
weird.
and stuff like that. Yeah, you can have loads of different types of flavour. I think it'd be
physically
great.
Sorry, can
My
I
goodness.
just to add my favourite flavour's cookie dough. So I just
Oh,
wanted
I forgot
to
about
throw
Is
that
that
out
right?
there.
Dave
Yeah.
Chawner, is there a vegan Ben & Jerry's?
No, as a vegan, I'm not allowed to have fun, so no.
There is. Yes, there is. I've
There
had
is,
it.
there
There
is.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh yes, now I know it.
expensive,
It's
though.
called What's the Point? Now, what do we think? Is it true or false that Ben & Jerry's have taken happy cows off of their branding?
I think that this is ridiculous, but I think it's true.
It is true. Well
Yes.
done, Marina. Excellent work. And if you win today's episode, we'll give you a whole pot of fish food,
I'll
and you
hold
can
you to
enjoy.
that.
You can enjoy that. Amy, Weatherspoon's owner Tim Martin has revealed that he named his company after a school teacher called Mr. Weatherspoon, who told him he would never amount to anything. True or false?
Ooh. I hope that's true. That's a nice little. But then, could he cash in on it? Because that would be awful. You know,
Well-
for some kind of. Well, you named it after me. Surely I've got a stake. And then that whole kind of gag's really backfired.
Well, did you
on
know?
him.
You know the sitcom Seinfeld has got a character called Kramer in, and this was a very funny character that lives next door, and it was based on a real life person that Jerry Seinfeld knew, who was also called Kramer. And the problem is they made the pilot, it was commissioned, and then we got to change the name because it's obviously this guy, you know. And but then they really liked the name, so they had to pay this man quite a lot of money for the use of his name. So there is proof that it's a minefield what you call
mental.
people. Is it true that a school teacher was the inspiration for the brand?
I'm going to go with true, yeah.
It is true. Well done, Amy. Dave, controversial actor Lawrence Fox says he refuses to date women under 35 because they're too woke. True or false?
Wow. Well, as two women under 35, do you feel like you've lost out?
I feel like he's not going to have any problem with not dating women under 35 because they have no interest in dating him.
It's very gallant of him, isn't it? Like that's the only
Do you
thing
think
that's.
I think because I feel like he's just come from nowhere and suddenly he's like, I'm being very opinionated and you know. Do we think that maybe he got ditched by a girl under 35 and he's got a bit of a
Is there
chip.
anyone here that's going to defend him? Because I wonder whether his only crime is just saying what he actually thinks, and maybe that is a good quality to have.
I think some of what he says, like a small part of it is okay in that, you know, I do think we're in a sort of culture where you can go too far, cancel culture. I like to sort of be middling, but I think it's that the way he's gone about it, it's very sort of Katie Hopkins, isn't it? I feel like he's trying to be a bit sensationalist and try and be a bit of a name all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
It's
Marina?
almost like I mean, this sounds awful, but I didn't know that he existed until last week.
But this is it.
Personally.
He's made
just suddenly
himself
come out of
a
nowhere.
name.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
what?
yeah.
So why? And there's something he feels like he's got to shock and he's got to come out with something to make people notice him or something like that.
And he's been on Gogglebox, so I think he's
Has
just
he?
trying to get out there a bit more.
I love Gogglebox.
Why is he on Question Time? Why was he ever on that? This is like the Tim Martin thing. Why are you telling me what to... Why are you on Question Time?
He's not even qualified for fake news, let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, I don't...
One question, though, that he raises, which is about wokeness. Are we too woke these days?
I'm not woke at all.
Really?
No.
Are you the opposite?
No, I mean, I'm not. What does woke? Woke means like...
PC, I suppose, where you've really got to watch everything you say. For example, you can't say chairman anymore because that's sexist.
No, I thought it meant
you can't
something
get
else.
a Manchester because it's got the word man in it.
No, actually, no.
I like to consider myself as being, fairly woke in a respect, but I have to say, I was watching a very old 70s film the other day, and I did find it quite refreshing that nothing was politically correct. I'm not going to point, but well, a lot of it was quite sexist, and I'm not.
You like that?
No.
Thank
It
God.
was just because we live in a world now where you have to be so careful what you tweet, what you say.
I don't like that.
I work on the radio and live, and sometimes I'm like, oh wow, can I say that? Because you could pick up on every detail. So sometimes I do think maybe we're going a little.
And also it's about intent. I really believe that everything is about intent, and people can say the wrong thing and be the kindest hearted person in the world and not really mean anything by it. I just think I know that it's a bit of a
you just
dodgy
need to
thing,
have
but
an awareness. I don't think it's that hard, is it?
Yeah.
To not offend people. I don't think it's that hard.
I think the problem is I couldn't agree more because it's actually about intent rather than content, and
totally.
we focus on words rather than actual meaning so much.
Yeah, so true.
And I think to be honest, what's actually happening is I think we're in a real readjustment period that actually women are more women are on boards than ever before, and BAME, and that we're getting so much better at that. You kind of go so that's how society works. You go too far one way, you go back the other way.
I do think that people are waiting to be offended sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
That's
They're
the
waiting.
problem.
People are actually scrolling through Twitter, and especially Twitter, of all the social media platforms, and they're waiting. They're looking for something to offend them so they can jump on the bandwagon. That's what I think.
Yes. Oh, please don't criticise our audience. They're online. They're online now. Live trolling.
Comments underneath this.
Please don't at me.
Well, let me tell you that here at Fake News we are not woke. In fact, most of the time we're fast asleep. So, what do we think? True or false? Lawrence Fox. Did he say those things?
I think true, Mark.
It is true. Well done.
you.
The points go to Dave Chawner. Time for a quick break. We'll see you in 3. Welcome back to Fake News, the topical quiz show that hasn't been hacked by the Saudi Crown Prince. Feeling a bit left out, if I'm honest with you. I continue to be Mark Dolan. We're still joined by Marina, Amy Voce, and Dave Chawner. We're live on Talk Radio. Lovely to have your company. You can also watch us on Facebook and YouTube right now. Okay, guys, it's going to be very rapid fire now because the clock is against us. Marina, according to a new investigation, Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos has had his mobile phone hacked by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Surely that's false.
Literally always. The other day I was WhatsApping, not messaging, my friend about McDonald's because someone was just eating it on the train and I wanted one. And then literally 1 minute later I had an email from McDonald's saying latest offer. Stop listening to me.
But they listen to everything we say. It terrifies me. They do. The actual phones listen to you. Yeah. And then as soon as you say, you're looking for a train ticket, you say to someone, I'm just going to have a look on the on train line or whatever, and then suddenly, bam, you get an email from them or special deals, and you're like, how do they know? It's actually quite petrifying, isn't it?
Okay. Well, look, I think these are all good points. What do we think, though? True or false, Marina?
True.
It is true. Well done. The points are yours. Amy, Tony Hall is stepping down as the Director General of the BBC this summer to become CEO of Greggs. True or false? By the way, I think running Greggs is a bigger job than the BBC, don't you?
Well, I would say it's a better job than running the BBC because you've got a lot of red tape with the BBC.
Yes,
it's complex.
yes.
Everyone's got something to say about it. Whereas at Greggs, think of the staff discounts.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's endless.
And also with that array of great products, Dave, including vegan fare, which is so popular now, I mean, you can't run Greggs badly. It's a business that just takes care of itself, isn't it?
I'm going to chuck it out there. I don't see what the Greggs thing is all about.
Really?
No, I don't get it.
Have you tried their Yum Yums?
What's that?
There you go. They're like donuts, but they're kind of twisted with icing on top. Oh, delicious. But also their sausage rolls, their steak bakes, their sorry, I know you're vegan, Dave, but
I can't
you
hear
know.
about me. This is like, I'm not just going to like go up with a puff of smoke.
Spontaneously combust.
I should point out that Marina is the commercial face of Greggs the Bakers. Full disclosure, she's getting a fortune to say those things. But what do we think? True or false? Greggs, what do we think?
I think it would be a wise career move, but I think it's false.
It's false, I'm afraid. Dave, in a step towards equality, India is sending a legless female robot into space, not into Cardiff city centre, on a Friday night. The humanoid looks and sounds like a conservative businesswoman, but who is quite attractive. True or false?
I mean, this is amazing. Firstly, why would space in general, the sort of nothingness that is, care about equality? And why is she legless?
Yes, indeed.
Why is that?
Why not? What's the problem with that, Dave?
I mean, I don't have anything against amputees. It just seems like a strange move. It seems very odd.
And what do we think? Are we buying this one, guys?
It's almost so absurd that I would think it's probably true. Yeah.
So that, like, if the aliens do come down and they say, "Take me to your leader," they won't just go to a white middle class man. They might, they might be a bit more woke. Okay, for that reason, I'm going to say true.
It is true. The points are yours. Excellent work. Marina petrol pumps are in trouble this week after being accused of sexism. The pumps themselves. Twitter users say these pumps are designed for men and hurt ladies' small hands.
Yes.
True or false?
Do you know what? I have been waiting for the day, because this is so true. Every time I fill my car up, I have to do it with both hands because it really hurts this little part between the thumb and the
Marina, you're
forefinger.
letting us down. What is wrong with you?
100 years of feminism, and I'm like, but I need pencil and
Listen, all I'm saying is that they are really hard. Actually, some petrol stations are better than others because some you don't have to put that much pressure to get the petrol out of the pump, but some you have to really put your back into it, and then that really hurts that area.
What do we think? Is it true or false that there have been complaints about the petrol station experience? The pump.
God.
Is it sexist?
Well, I do think it's weird that I have always thought this and never actually vocalised it until today, and then so I'm going to say true.
It is true. Well done. Amy, a deaf man from Brooklyn, is suing Pornhub over lack of subtitles. True or false?
I like how you read that because it sounded like you said, Amy, a deaf man from Cornwall.
How can this work? Because you don't. How do we, without me doing it? How?
It's difficult.
Because there's not. I mean, okay. Is he in for the plot lines? Because in that point,
well, I do. I mean, I'm a little older than most of you guys, and if I was to consume any of that material now, I am interested in, whether they actually get together
you want a
at
story?
the end.
Yeah, I want a love story.
Yeah.
Sure.
And also, did they actually fix the sauna or not?
Well, it's a very good point. Yeah.
There's a problem with the sauna.
Yeah.
The dishwasher's broken down.
Yeah.
I need closure.
Do they love each other? You need to know this without,
That's why I've always wondered, is it a happy ending?
Is it
but
real
then
love?
you kind of
which ones are you watching?
See what you've done there. If there's no happy ending, I'd ask for your money back. Is it true or false, though?
You said it's in America?
Yeah.
I'd say true.
Yes, because anything goes there, doesn't it? It is true. Well
Brilliant.
done.
Wow.
And time's up. Here are the final scores. Marina has 1,000 points. Amy has 2,000 points. And Dave has minus 11 points. Very specific number. And is going to be asked to move to Canada and become financially independent and lose his personal security. Does he need security?
I like maple syrup.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next Saturday with more fake news. Goodbye.